check this game out. I've been playing it legitimately pretty fucking hot for the past about hour or so.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
Make
door
some
that
adjustments
read
here.
Mind Control Facility.
See how that sound a little bit. I'll do that sound. Make sure my audio is okay. Test. Well, that's not what we're talking about. Like I've done this already. Like I already did that. Already. I wonder if I can escape it. Let's go to the mind control.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
So I'm not unfamiliar with the game.
Their true nature.
I'm just not sure. I just hope you guys can hear everything okay.
Employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Stanley, a little bit of an echo on this, sounds like. Roll that back just a little bit. I think it's actually just picking up what I'm putting down, brother. Anyway, let's move forward here. Pretty sure that was the only button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't.
Shit's so weird, man.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring
So
job?
damn weird.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Listen, bro, I don't know if it's because I'm high or if this game is just that fucked up, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm digging this thing.
The heart of the operation.
Maybe I'm just not high enough. Hold on.
Labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I almost stepped off the edge. So I did commit suicide earlier, apparently. I mean, legitimately, like, just walked off the edge of something for the sake of walking off the edge of something. I feel like... What's that button?
Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Of course
After
I did.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Dun,
In the
dun,
event that this
dun.
machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long
Jesus.
until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
Let me out there? I
where
didn't
we're
think.
going.
I didn't think you was gonna let me out there, bro.
I barely know
Oh, up the
where to
steps, I
start.
guess. Dun
What's
dun
that?
dun dun dun
You'd like to
dun
know where
dun
your
dun
co-workers
dun
are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Ah.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you
Oh, I
exactly
see.
what
I
happened.
got you. Too late now. I'm already dead.
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though.
No
this
idea
version
where
of
these
events
things
has
are
been
at.
rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever
This
I come up
motherfucker.
with on the next go around will be even better. My
This
goodness,
motherfucker shut the
only
door on my
34
nose.
seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
No, I know.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Not a fucking clue, bro. Not a fucking clue.
You're in for quite a disappointment.
I'm
But here's
sure
a
of it.
spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Did we make it?
This is not
No,
a
he
challenge.
put more time on
It's
it.
a tragedy. You
Dun,
wanted
dun,
to
dun.
control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No one in here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
It's such a weird ass game. Such a weird ass game. Hold on, I need to hydrate. I'll be back. Alright, so we're back here at the office. Okay. I really think, if I'm not mistaken, I found the confusion ending. And, according to that, I think we have to reset 2 more times before Stanley dies, apparently. But hang tight. Let's take another walk through and see what the hell happens.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? Oh,
New
new
content.
content? What does that
I
mean,
get-
new content?
Let's go find out together, kids. Whoa, hey.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Like, I almost don't want to talk over this because it's so damn good.
Please, step inside and see what thrill of new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I'm sure of it.
Is it broken? What's
know.
going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Alright, this dude's starting to piss me off. Ah. Are you fucking kidding me?
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
What the hell? Alright, listen. I'm not the person for that. I'm really not the person for that.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else,
Alright,
right?
cool. Right? I agree. Close this up and keep us moving.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping.
Alright,
Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait.
Really, dude?
There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I really feel like my microphone's picking up my speaker. I'm not real sure about that. What do we got?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stan? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Though this does remind me a bit of a book called The Incredible Mr. B. If you stumble across a copy of it, it's not for everybody. It's a horror book. It's about, the book is possessed by a demon, and the book tells you that from the get-go. The book is a demon. Like, it's I don't know how else to explain it. It's you are narrated.
Stanley!
Oh fuck! Come on, bro.
Here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
I mean, we're gonna do it because, I mean, what else are we gonna do? How else can I piss him off? What is that? Great. Bruh. I mean, fuck it. This son of a bitch. The hell. Mm-hmm. Are you just gonna leave me in here now too?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
At least I didn't die that time. What the hell? I mean, alright. Is this because I died?
Call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
So the jump button also only works in the jump circle. So.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I mean, there's some cool stuff in here, for sure. I'm gonna check some things out. Why not? They're gonna spend the time to put it in here. We might as well spend the time to take a look at it. Yeah, see, I did that earlier. I got that cutscene earlier. That was kind of cool. But not. I sit on the bench. No, you cheating bastard.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
The hell?
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable
Can I
was.
leave?
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all.
It's gonna hang
It
out in
isn't
the
even
stone
a Stanley
circle.
Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Jesus Christ. Man, we're going downstairs. I guess we eat. Maybe we is.
Here's another moving passage,
Jesus,
this
come
time
on, bro.
from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the
Carpet textures.
PlayStation.
Come on,
Boom,
man.
done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I keep trying to get a drink out of one of those.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
I mean, I get that.
Funny?
I get
I'm not
that.
trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insight that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Though I do. Just curious. Just curious. I'm that guy. What's that?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea of the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to
Just
begin
open
with.
the damn door, my
You can't
friend.
know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well...
I'm getting wet, bro. Come on.
But maybe it wasn't.
Thank you. I'm not that
Yeah.
stepping outside in
What
the
an
fucking
awful
rain is any
memory to have
helpful.
to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing
Oh,
anything
man.
so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the
How
record.
did I get down
Only
there?
positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have
I kind of want to let him
no
drone
more
on.
listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get.
I really
Don't
feel
sit
like...
around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Yes, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah,
we're not going to get it.
We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000
Alright, we got to do it.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and
I thought we were locked the whole way in.
on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Just a little walk around, I guess.
Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly.
I gotta
You
quit
can tell
watching
me
the other screen. Jesus.
Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go, poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would
I
have
kinda
been
wanna
a
let 'em
smart
continue
thing
to
check
ramble.
on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping
You
through is
bastard.
becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
I don't have a choice, dude. You left me in
has
this
been
room.
aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Where
to
did
tell
the
you,
door
dude.
go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I feel quite certain that
Just
there was one here.
fix the damn door.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here.
I got no time for this, man. You're working my damn nerves, son.
I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To
Bruh.
begin with, there is only regret.
Are you done? No door back yet? I will take another walk around the back. Still can't climb no ladder. Still can't jump. Notice that the bush in the background has died slowly. Much like the battery in the clock. So according to the layout, this would be where it takes Stanley a long, long time and then
But
dies.
they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First,
This
he
is
didn't
great.
entertain
This is
us. Now he went,
stupidly great.
shut up. It's the inconsistency. It's the...
You calling it quits, man? Are you done? There you go. You ain't even gonna talk this time? No? You ran out of things to say?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Let me just keep going here. let me just keep going on that. So nothing, huh? No door to leave yet? Just me and this button, huh? Oh, now the wall falls. What's behind there now? Oh, I can't get through there no more. Yeah, buddy. Hey, there's a way out. Help me! Somebody! What's all that? Oh, just wood. Alright. Guess we stuck here. Jesus. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Wish you'd let me go outside. Oh, well, shit. Oh, we can go outside. Nope, it's broken. It's a brand new world. Now we just roam aimlessly, huh? That is. Okay. Okay. And then what? And then what? We're back here. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Son of a bitch.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Listen, we're gonna do something we don't normally do. Here's what we're gonna do. Is it this one? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this because yeah. Let's get a little adjustments here. There we go. We're gonna do it this way because I'm gonna spend a lot. What the fuck? This is fucking trippy. All right.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Listen. All right. I don't really know about this, to be honest with you. I don't really know about this one. Hang tight, guys. There we go. All right, back into the elevator. Or is there something else we can get into? Back to the elevator. All right. Tally-ho.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing its ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Jesus Christ. The end is never the end again.
Yet, you see, isn't this far superior to a mealy port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be. But let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, then surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The new content tour? Oh, come on.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons.
Just let me out.
But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Get the fuck out of here. The hell?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No,
Can we-
I've made my decision. We're moving on.
What's this? Back to the jump circle. I'm not getting in the jump circle. Fuck off. I can't jump everywhere. I don't need to jump at all. Can you?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Jesus.
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Like, do we do that now? And restart and miss out on all the extra content? Or do we... We'll come back to this. Because this definitely sounds like fun, but we'll come back to this. I think I'm ready to infinitely fall at the moment. I can't. Can I come back to that? Yes. Alright. The Fast AG trophy, huh? Alright, let's go see what that's all about. Pull the lever.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
What's this button? No, it's just the back of an ambulance. Son of a bitch. I feel like I was cheated out of that. I'm going back. We're going back. Give me the damn trophy. Give me the damn trophy. Alright. So it truly is locked. Truly is locked. So the infinite
What
hole
else?
is down there.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
What's up here?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Hey.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's not... There it goes. Is it getting any damn closer?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Jump circle. We're not doing a jump circle. So there's a lot going on here. I don't believe you about the exit. Not at all. Not at all do I believe you about the exit. But also, we're not really going to exit, I don't think. Is this really the exit? Because I don't...
Oh, goodness,
That's what I
Stanley,
thought.
this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket.
I don't
and
know
I
where it's
really
at.
do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Road too big, too
So
small.
with that
just
in
right.
mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Sure. That's wonderful. That's great. Oh, here it is.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I
Jesus
wasn't
Christ.
finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself...
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Fact. Jesus Christ. Can someone explain
Maybe
this
I'll
game to
only
me?
let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Well, there's always a Jimmy. Where's the bucket? This is the bucket? Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Can I carry the bucket?
Give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I
Can I put
do
the bucket
believe the
down?
bucket lends you an air of charisma as well.
Can I put
I
the
think
bucket
that just
down?
holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Can we put the bucket
The
down?
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Can we put
All
the bucket
this and
down?
more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can we put the bucket down? Can we drop the bucket? You're gonna make me carry the bucket. Are we gonna crack a joke about kicking the bucket?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No, but I
That
will
really
point
should
out
be
that
an
he changed
award
the
if it
name of
isn't
the.
already.
They did change the name of the button. The button is now called the button that says Jim. I feel like we should probably go push the button. Now that he changed the name of it. Just curious. Can we?
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Ah, shit. Just had to find out, man. I had to know. This game is so... Can I put the bucket down, dude? What if I throw the bucket in the infinite hole? Where's the infinite hole? This way. Allegedly. This is... This is not enjoyable. Come down them steps in a hurry though, boy. Better slow down, I'll trip. Yeah, you're just gonna jump in there. Salute! We still got the bucket.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your... Great. I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Because sometimes even I don't want to die in a video game. Though I am curious. I am curious if we can exit when we actually exit. And can I put the damn bucket down? We was up there, we did that, we're leaving. We miss anything? I think we got everything. Where's Epilogue at? We're leaving. Can we leave now? Can we put the bucket down? That's really the main thing, in my opinion. I feel that... I remember seeing that earlier. Didn't let us come up this far earlier. Who's this das?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you The Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Can I put the fucking bucket there?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, for the love of God. Can you just... He's going to kick us back to the beginning, isn't he? I should have stayed in the hole. Should have stayed in the hole. That's what she said?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427
give the whole intro a thing. Well, he put so much time into it.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came to him, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
So
No
far,
one had
it's
showed
pretty
up
much
to give
the
him
same.
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, we're back up. We gotta go step out of the office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not picking up the bucket. Though I'm curious about the bucket. I'm not picking up the bucket. Do we need the bucket? I don't... I'm not taking a damn bucket.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I did jump off this earlier and, yep, pretty much ended the game. That did.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Oh,
but
they
the
added
fact
something
is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
You're not going to do that to me again, are you? You did it to me
That's
again.
her, Stanley.
Oh,
You need
you
to
did
be
it
the
to
one
me
to
again,
do
you
this.
bastard.
To reach out to her. If you...
Is that it? Is that that?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go.
Yep,
All right,
confusing
now,
ending.
I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Am I allowed to move now? Okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Uh-huh.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
It's because it's
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
How am I going to watch TV all there? Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
You going to say hi to everybody? You're on camera. Okay. So the Ace and Maeve back at it again. All right, we'll go spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere never thought
It's
his
not.
decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Legit, just
As he
pressing
wandered
buttons.
through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and
Just
destinations.
pressing buttons.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
This is fucking the hell.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
We just let it keep doing, we just keep let it. Alright, so what if I don't? What if I press the wrong button? Everything but? Press every button but the one you want me to? No? Alright.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose.
Do.
With the name of Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time you'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Jesus
And
Christ.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Good damn. Alright, well, I think that's about the time I'm going to put into this for right now. Though I do want to see where it puts me here. Oh. I'm gonna leave it here. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow night for Grammy pop-up. Yeah, I'm just fucking around here a little bit. Just killing some time. Just killing time. So, but yeah, sorry you're late. But yeah, I'm stepping off. You guys be safe. I appreciate you. Thomas Page coming in. What an apology, man. I mean, I didn't realize you were that sorry about it. But hey, I appreciate it. Drop in tomorrow night. Corner Studies has got us on Saturday night for a Grammy pop-up. In where we at? Grammy pop-up in the Cleveland? Is it Cleveland? It's not Cleveland. It's not Cleveland. Anyway, catch it on Corner Studies tomorrow night. I see. You got me. The San Diego Grammy pop-up in the zoo for Corner Studies Wrestling. Picking up the MWA action. I apparently have to get back to work. So until then, folks, be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. And I will see you when I see you, man. Be safe. Peace.